And so Friday, a lot of people, of course, are watching, the big gap down on the SPY. But I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot of opportunity to make money if you went long, say, looking for like this area to break and go long. I mean, it went up, came back down above it, went up, did a little bit right there, went back down below it, and then it finally went towards the end of the day. That's when you could have made some money. But if you had used that strategy, you probably would have about made just a tad bit or almost broke even just because it didn't really do anything. And if you didn't enter and re-exit your positions, you would have had like time decay. So not a really a whole lot of money to be made right there. Uh, Mainly where you could have made the money though was on other things like the individual stocks themselves. Like Apple went and went pretty much straight up for a little while, and you know you could have got out right there. That probably happened quick, or got up around this level where it started leveling off and take profit, and you would have had made a little bit of money there. And it filled up the gap, of course, towards the end of the day. So like you had Apple go, you had well, actually, let me go to this one first. Facebook, for instance, filled the gap early on during the beginning of the day, and so what you had was there's a couple stocks that went. The individual stocks went, but the overall index didn't, and so that's where it would have helped if you're like me, maybe have multiple screens open where you're watching other things to monitor some of the other positions at once and not just be on one thing. Because if you're watching the index, there really wasn't a great chance to make money. But and a couple of the individual stocks there were. And then Roku, which was one that I was watching, had a really good day. And it did more than just, I didn't wake up early enough to buy it at the open, but it did more than just, fill the gap. It filled the gap. And you can see, like, right around here where it filled it, it had a little bit of trouble, but not for long. And then it just kept on going. And so that one, Roku really just ran up the whole day. And anyone who was in it long from here to here basically made money unless they didn't know what they were doing. Um, but so like Roku, Facebook, Apple, some of those individual names allowed you to make money when the market really overall the big indexes just didn't have that good of a day. And I didn't watch them, but just want to check on the other ones. See, Amazon kind of like the overall market just kind of slowly filled that gap up towards the end of the day, but not really a whole lot of money to be made there. There's another individual one like Boeing went early on, filled that, and you could have made some money, pretty quickly right around from open, till about 11 a.m. And then kind of just leveled off and came back up towards the end of the day. Baba just went sideways. So see, this is where it helps to monitor like multiple stocks. They all had the gap fill that you could play, but some of them filled it and some of them didn't. And that's really all it came down to on that day is buying the ones that were, just moving more. And if it was going sideways, you just had to get out because otherwise you were going to have like time decay get you. Like on this one, you would have bought probably right around here where it triple tested this place right here and then took off. And it did go up and then come back down. So I see if some people got scared and got out, they wouldn't have really made money. But of course, it did fill that gap. And then that's where you would take profit is right around there when it filled that gap. And ended up going higher later on in the day, but that would have just been pretty hard to predict because it didn't ever come back down to this bottom really. It went sideways right here, so you could have kind of maybe known that, hey, we're getting some accumulation, so we're about to either break down or break up. But really, that would have been a hard one to predict. There's not a whole lot of indicators that I can see there as to how to predict it. But so yeah, anyway, on the index, not a really whole lot happened towards the end of the day, and then just keep watching on the overall, as we're bouncing off of these levels that we bounced off earlier in the year. We went up and kind of done that, and I would not be surprised if we keep dropping for a little bit and maybe somewhere around this area catch or either catch around these candles. We might catch it right here and then come back up and go back out. But I wouldn't be surprised if we keep on dropping. I think we just had like, what was it? The index ended down, yeah, slightly down. Candle showed up green though because it went up after the open. So that's what I would watch for the overall thing. I wouldn't really be holding anything long right now at the moment, unless you have a stock that maybe I didn't know about. But as far as like for the overall index and the big stocks. So anyway, there wasn't necessarily a ton of plays that I really saw there. I mean, of course, there's a couple okay opportunities to make money, but nothing amazing. Hopefully that helps some of y'all out.